Tonight, on 60 Seconds, with McGruff. Stars. Space. A void we project ourselves onto. Some say that in the stars you can see your identity. Others attribute to religious connotation, as if God poked holes in the blanket of the sky. But to get closer to knowledge about these celestial and astral objects of mystery, we must talk to an expert. The mark of a good astrologer is the skill to look at things from all perspectives and to communicate it in a way that isn't damaging but is still honest. Tonight, I interview astrologer Allie Parks, who has an excellent eye for composition as a photographer. They have an excellent instinct for light as an artist. And they are well practiced in the disciplines of yoga and bodywork, as I encourage you to learn more about at helloallieparks.com. But tonight, we ask this expert about the stars. Traditionally, in ancient times, astrology was a subject of nobility. Astrologers were considered the ones who knew, scientists with a gift for measurement and intuition. But nowadays, astrology can be looked at as something mythical, unscientific, or supernatural. So I asked our expert, what are the stars?
Well, the stars that you see at night are always there, even when the sun is shining. And they are, in fact, other suns burning far off in distant galaxies, many, 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 many light years away. And they often have planets circling them, much like our own.
Who knew the galaxy was so large? It sounds infinite. Is the universe infinite? Does this go on and on and on?
I do believe so. I believe it goes on and on and on and eventually loops back through itself as it transgresses portals of black holes and re-enters and emerges through the light again, only for it to conjoin and connect us back where we currently are.
So, Allie, what can I learn from looking at the sky about myself, me just being a simple dog in New Orleans? What can the stars mean for me? Like, am I like a Capricorn or something like that?
That's a great question, McGruff. In fact, I have your chart pulled up right here. You were born July 27th, 2021 at 6:18 p.m. in New Orleans. And you are, in fact, a Leo sun. So the sun was in the tropical zodiac of Leo, the lion, at the time of your birth.
Tropical. Interesting. New Orleans is a more gray, rainy place.
This is true. It is a gray, wet place. However, the tropical zodiac is a geocentric perspective of the solar system. So looking outward from our perspective here on Earth. And the sun was in the sector of the sky that we deem to be the astrological sign of Leo at the time of your birth.
So what does this mean? So I'm a lion? I'm not a dog?
Well, archetypally, you have lion or lioness qualities. And that often means that you, people that fall under this sign tend to be boisterous, can be loud. They can be quite proud of who they are or their abilities. Often the word arrogance is brought up when speaking about a Leo. However, they're not all bad. They can be very kind and nurturing, fierce lovers, and great, great companions. They're often the life of a party. And I fancy a Leo. There's some great things here. Mars is in the 8th house, which is the house related to death and money, like other people's resources. And so Mars, being a malefic planet of action and desire and like heated passion, is in this place of like other people's resources and like sex and death.
Death, destruction, sex, resources. Allie, I don't know if you've been watching Weird at Night or if the stars have, but how did you know what just happened at the corporate summit between the trash force and the space raccoons? What is there? I mean, that's pretty much all there is to learn about my chart, right? So that's probably not that interesting.
Oh, quite contrary. Your chart is nuanced, and I could spend a lot of time dissecting your chart. In fact, McGruff, you have some very interesting aspects.
Where does the moon fit into all of this?
Well, at the furthest point away from you, at the time that you were born, the moon, our satellite, who you see at night, was conjunct the planet Neptune, which is a very mysterious and ethereal planet that can be related to addictions and alcohol, like spirit. It's spiritus and that animation that sort of moves through us from the cosmos.
I never animated anything. As a detective, I dealt only in truth and clarity, and I was rarely wrong.
Well, your clarity and the truth may have been a little delusional at times.
Arrest that bird!
McGruff, how could you?
Can I ask you, do you like to drink?
I've had a couple White Claws in my day, if you know what I mean.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised, given that the planet of spiritus and alcohol, Neptune, is closely intermingling and sharing its energy with your emotional sense of self, the moon.
Wow, a lot is dawning on me during this interview. It makes me wonder, is this like a positive thing? Like, do you think people look up at the sky and then they get the chart read and then they learn more about themselves? Is this like helpful? Like, I feel seen. It feels strange.
Well, I think that if you are willing to take accountability for yourself and your archetypal energy, the way that you express who you are and manipulate your own free will, understanding your birth chart and the energies at play that you resonate in the world every day, can be a very empowering way to own the self and to, well, do well and do good for others in your life. But I certainly think that, as with any practice or substance or ideology, it can be manipulated and it certainly can have its downfalls. I'd warn you to watch your relationship with authority. You have Saturn opposing your natal sun very closely. And so often when I see this placement, I see individuals who are opposed and or at odds with the authorities in their life and can often get in trouble or in binds with the law.
Ah, yes. I used to be the law in this town. I was a detective. Head of the crime department. But that job now belongs to Steve Germany. And here I am. And in just 60 seconds, we've covered, basically, the entire universe. Talking to Allie Parks made me realize that just as much as you are the person on the inside, you are also the world on the outside. And no matter how dark it gets, there will always be a star or a friend to help light the way. Next time on 60 Seconds with McGruff. We are objects of Earth. Therefore, we are Earthlings. Who are these alien plants among us? And what is this mysterious soil upon which they plant their roots?